Peace and love, everyone. Welcome to my channel. If you're new, please like and subscribe. And I'm your host, Queen Tamara of Astral Healing Arts Wellness Center. And I hope all is well with each and every one of you on this Monday, Moon Day, as we dive into this so very important, enlightening topic this evening. And again, I want to say welcome if you're new to the channel. And please spread the word. We have a lot of exciting content each week, um nearly each week. And I would also, this summer I'm planning some special shows for you all, so please stay tuned and subscribe and share these videos with others. So with that, I want to say peace be unto everyone this evening. So tonight's topic is going to be cosmic frequencies and ascension symptoms. And what inspired me to share this evening is because I myself am experiencing what they call ascension symptoms, and it's a common issue right now, and many of us um, are experiencing them regardless of where you are on your spiritual journey, because we're all in different places. And so tonight we're going to be exploring them and talking about that. So the summer is here. We officially had our summer solstice last month, and with it comes a lot of changes. The planet is getting more sunlight in some areas, days are longer, temperatures are rising, and people are spending more time outdoors and traveling. And so those are just some of the physical changes that are taking place during the summer. But on an energetic level, the earth is also going through a unique season during the summer. So energetically, if you will, it's almost like an energy season as well. With each time period in the year, there's so many different changes that take place on a spiritual or energetic level. And we know energy and spirit are the same here on this channel. And the energies are different in the summer versus winter and fall and spring. And so there's a lot happening and a lot of changes taking place right now energetically in the summer. The summer, Earth is going through a very unique season or time during the summer. During the summer months, more light codes are coming to Earth, especially ones from Sirius. And this year is a solar maximum year, which may make these light codes feel more intense. Um, I've done previous videos about light codes. If anyone is interested and wants to know more about that, if you could go back and watch the last video I did with Brother McClure Ray, who talks a lot more about that, is more knowledgeable about that. And that video was done, I think, back in January or February. So if you want to scroll back and watch that, I highly recommend that to give you more insight into what I mean by a solar maximum year. And the light codes are kind of like downloads that you get spiritually, and many of us are aware of it. The summertime is a great time of year where a lot of people have all this inspiration and all these great ideas, and they get excited for new projects and things. And that's normal, and that is part of the light codes that we're receiving on Earth. So people are experiencing a change in frequency in the summer, the number of downloads and messages from the etheric and higher realms. And in addition, while we're going through a great cosmic shift in consciousness overall, these and more changes are taking place during the summer months, or people feel them more during the summer months. Those of us who are sensitive to energy or more empathic and who are developing their spiritual abilities may find these times a bit unsettling, because some of the ascension symptoms can be a little bit uncomfortable. But I assure you, we have nothing to fear. Just surrender to those energies. Think of think of this ascension symptoms. It's a natural phenomenon. It's a force of nature. There's not a lot you can do to stop it, as far as I know. And you just have to kind of ride the wave. So look at yourself as a surfer in the universe. And if you've ever watched someone surf, you see how they remain steady on that surfboard. They position their feet a certain way. And as the waves come towards them, they don't flee or back up. They just ride and they position themselves so that they can just sail, or I don't know, surf, if you will, through the waves. They just hold on, they position themselves, and they just ride that wave. And I personally have never tried surfing, but that's the and first analogy that came to mind. Or look at, if you ever, I have kayaked. If you ever been kayaking or canoeing or been in a boat, you know that the boat um, rides the waves or rides the water, but the water really is in control. And as the water moves and flows differently, or sometimes the water will get rough and choppy, other times the water is smooth and still. Either way, as the person in the boat, you have to go with the flow. Literally, you have to ride the water and just be patient. And sometimes you have to just allow yourself to float, to be buoyant, if you will, and just allow life's currents to just carry you along. And the more you fight against it, the more uncomfortable or even dangerous it could be when you're boating. You can't fight against the current. You'll exhaust yourself. You'll lose a lot of stamina and energy, but it takes less energy to just float along. When you see that the water is changing course, you can paddle against it, or you can just allow yourself to flow, just surrender. So look at the ascension symptoms much like um, water in the universe. The energies are like, like currents. Is something that is a natural phenomenon. It's a force of nature. There's not much we can do about stopping it. We have to learn to accept it, live with it, use it to our benefit, and just be buoyant and surrender through these changes, because they're going to keep happening. The downloads don't stop. So, mentioning that the energies from the cosmos are felt more strongly during the summer months. In my opinion, we just had some intense solar flares a few weeks ago. I know that that week for me was very overwhelming at times, and I wasn't sure why. And then some people told me about the solar flares, and made me more aware of them. So there's going to be a lot of that going on this summer. But those of us who've already experienced that in the last few weeks, and you understand what I'm talking about. Not only is this a solar maximum year, there's a lot of portals and energy shifts, major ones that take place during the summer months. For example, the Lionsgate portal starts opening in late July, around the time of the planetary new year, and then it culminates in August, around August 8th. The planetary new year also is in July. There's a 7/7 portal today, because today is July 7th, and more of all of this and then some is also happening this summer. The summertime is a powerful time to activate changes you want to engage in your body. your mind, your spirit, and your life in general. This is a good time to activate your hidden abilities, transform your life, renew your mind, start a new beginning. Look at the summer as a time of fullness and abundance, and a time to reap the things that you worked on and focused on, maybe during the spring, when the season of new beginnings. And look at the summer as a time of abundance and time to receive those benefits and of the new beginnings that you started. Family. All right, so what are the ascension symptoms? So you may be experiencing what they call ascension symptoms, and at times they can be uncomfortable for some people. The symptoms vary from person to person, but some of them are extreme fatigue and tiredness, unexplained headaches or pressure in the head and the ears, especially the crown of the head, the sides of the head. I mean, it varies from person to person. Pressure in the ears, sometimes it may be a ringing sensation in the ears, loss of appetite, um, pulsing sensations in the body, especially around the head. The pulsing sensations can be mild to more intense at times and can lead to headaches or dizziness, nausea, upset stomach for no apparent reason, lightheadedness, feeling faint, or insomnia. A few years ago, one summer for about 10 days in the month of July, I had a lot of insomnia. I just couldn't sleep. And the strange thing about not being able to sleep was I wasn't tired. I wasn't overly tired. I would be wide awake, had all this extra energy, which for no apparent reason. And it was about 5 years ago, actually, 4 or 5 years ago. And I was just I would just be wide awake. So I would either be reading or doing something else, meditating, whatever. And when I would finally fall asleep, um, I would only sleep for a few hours, and I felt energized. I didn't feel overwhelmed or tired, or wasn't falling asleep during the daytime. And this lasted for about 10 days. And that was July 2020, and then the following year the same thing happened. During July, I was just energized for about 10 days, wide awake, not able to sleep. And although I was only sleeping a few hours each night, I didn't feel tired during the day and didn't need a nap, which is very unusual for me, because I love my sleep. I enjoy having a full 7 or 8 hour night's rest. Some days, I feel like I need a nap, especially if I'm up early and doing a lot. But during that time, I didn't. And some of these symptoms, um, other people were having too, because during the time period that was happening, a lot of people were at home and during the lockdown. And I talked to other people who were also having the similar or more intense symptoms. And that's not coincidental that everybody and or certain people that you're around and you're all having the same experience, and you're all having insomnia or unexplained bursts of energy, or some people were just really tired, or a lack of appetite. So it was really interesting. And that's when I began to notice that more and more people were having these symptoms. And they vary, like I said, from person to person. And the symptoms will not have a physical origin. So let's say you may feel like you're coming down with a cold, or you may feel unexplained body aches, or like I said, the pulsations in the head, the dizziness, the lack of appetite or the loss of appetite, the nausea, stomach upset, the ringing in the ears. You may have these symptoms and not know why. And if you go to the doctor and the doctor doesn't seem to have an explanation for why you're having them, then more than likely those are ascension symptoms or energetic symptoms, the symptoms of you being more aware of energies and spiritual phenomenon as your higher senses and abilities begin to awaken, so your spiritual abilities. So as you are in the awakening process or phases, you will have these symptoms. And like I said, everybody doesn't have the same symptoms and not all the time. This summer, a lot of people, including myself, have been mentioning in the last few months that we've been feeling a very, very tired, a lot of fatigue. Um, Sometimes that happens as well. Sometimes you need more rest when you're going through these experiences, and sometimes you need less rest. Tonight, we're going to explore them and discuss ways to cope with these symptoms because I often get people um, asking me about what to do about it, that they are, they're aware that the symptoms that they have and the sensations that they're having in their bodies are not of a physical origin, and so they want to know what can they do to mitigate these and how to cope with them. So that's what we're going to be talking about tonight. All right. So, number one, recognize, family, that you are an energetic being, a vibrational being. You are more than just a physical body. So, you will be aware of things that are energetic or non physical things. As stronger energies are present and coming to earth, you may feel them in different ways. This is a part of your spiritual wellness to take care of yourself during this time, and also to just be aware that with the sensations that you are feeling are beyond physical. And if you don't experience them, that's fine. If you experience some but not all, that's fine too. Everybody's in a different place, um, energetically and spiritually. So, what some people experience, others may not, and that's fine. There's no judgment. They may be experiencing it in other ways, but just know that this is a part of your spiritual wellness, and this is a part of your journey as an energetic vibrational being. So, number two, develop discernment between physical sensations and non physical. Now, if you are feeling lightheaded or dizzy because you've been exposed to too much heat, too much sun, or you're dehydrated, that is totally different than what I'm describing. So, those are physical sensations for something that's going on physically with your body. But the ascension symptoms are energetic and spiritual symptoms, and it's something different. And learn to distinguish or discern between the two because they are different. Some of them will feel similar, but if your ears are ringing or buzzing, or you're getting you know odd sensations or odd aches and pains in your body that have no origin and for no reason, then it may not be something physical but something else. So that is what we are talking about this evening. So don't think, if oh, I didn't drink, you get dehydrated in the summer, or you're exposed to too much heat, you're not feeling well, and you start feeling lightheaded or dizzy. That is not an ascension symptom. That is more something has a physical origin. So make sure you stay hydrated. Make sure don't expose yourself to a lot of excessive heat. Stay cool this summer, and just stay safe, family. So number three, have a spiritual practice that you can do daily to help ground you and give you the tools to cope. I know I say that a lot when it comes to um, a lot of my videos and a lot of my advice always refer people back to a spiritual practice, but that's just how important a spiritual practice is. It will help you cope through a lot of life's challenges. So It helps you combat depression, sorrow and sadness when you're battling certain types of vices and shortcomings. Your spiritual practices help you overcome that. I've said it before, when it comes to healing from and avoid narcissists. I mean, anything. Your spiritual practices are your tools, or that's your armor against nearly everything that is going to come against you in life. Your spiritual practice, because remember, you are a spiritual vibrational being, and your spirit needs its food just like your physical needs to be fed. Your physical body needs to be fed, needs sleep, needs food, nourishment, water, exercise, etc. Your spirit also has needs and needs to be fed, and your spiritual practices are that food or that tool or that fuel to keep you going and to keep you energized and vibrant and to help you cope with all of life's challenges. So your spiritual practices do not have to be associated with a religion. It's just what you do to help yourself grow and develop spiritually, and how do you fortify yourself. So it can be meditation, prayer, decrees, reading different types of scriptures, um, breath work, whatever, yoga practice, tai chi, qigong, whatever it is that you do, chanting, etc. There's so many different things, but that is what will help you stay grounded and help you cope through any types of issues, or especially these kind of symptoms. The deep breathing helps. The movement, like spiritual movement, in the form of yoga, tai chi, qigong, and other practices, martial arts. All of that will help you with um, staying grounded and being able to manage and balance these energies. Number 4, surrender to the forces. I mentioned that earlier in this discussion, but you can't stop them. So seek a way to cope. More self-care will help. Spending more time by yourself. That's a way to surrender to it. So when you're feeling, you know, lightheaded or dizzy, or you have an insomnia for days in a row, or the opposite, if you're sleeping a lot and you feel drained and excessively tired for no apparent reason, um, use this time to do more self-care. you know um, if you needed to go for more walks or take a vacation, do that. I know somebody right now who went away for a month to she works remotely, so she just went away and she went somewhere where there's a lake and bodies of water, where she can spend a lot of time on the lake. That's wonderful, and it's a form of self-care. So whatever it is, sometimes getting a massage, getting your hair, your nails done, getting some kind of pampering, that spending time in a sauna, doing some deep breathing, taking an exercise class. you know uh, Self-care can also be getting more rest. So surrender to the flow. If your body is calling for more rest and you're feeling excessively tired, it doesn't have a physical origin, but you're just feeling more tired, more fatigued, then listen to your body. If you need to sleep, get to sleep. Do the best that you can, and just recognize that, if your body is if you're feeling like you don't have a lot of energy, use that time to get more rest. Eat more fortifying, nourishing foods, drink more green drinks, your green juices, some more teas, things to invigorate you and to help your body feel better. Never underestimate the power of massage. I need to take my own advice. It's time for me to get one too. But get a massage, get try Thai yoga massage, try different modalities. Do things that make you feel happy. Spend more time with yourself. If you enjoy just sitting on a park bench and reading a book, do that. That's part of your self-care because you're doing something that makes you happy and soothes your mind. If you like bird watching, do a little bit more of that. If you like taking your pet for long walks, then do that. Whatever it is that brings you joy, brings you happiness, helps you your go-to in times of stress, look at that as part of your self-care. Let your family know, like if you need more rest, that I'm taking a power nap or I'm going to bed a little bit earlier. Please don't wake me up. Respect my space, respect that time that I need for myself. And you will not only will you be happier and balanced, it will help you to stay in the flow and deal with these sensations that you're having. Um, and spending time with yourself is always good, even when it's not associated with the Ascension symptoms. But if you need more time alone during this time, then by all means take advantage of that. Number 5, deep breathing techniques. Deep breathing and breath work are very important um, with all things in life, because a lot of times when we are feeling stressed or anxious or uncomfortable or upset, our breathing becomes shallow, our breathing becomes constricted, we're not breathing fully. And so, breath work and practicing breathing, like fully and deeply breathing, helps in so many ways. Not only does it help bring life-giving oxygen into your body, into your lungs and your abdomen, but it also helps you calm your nervous system, and it helps you stay grounded, stay relaxed, stay calm. One way to calm yourself down in distressful situations or help you to be in control of your emotions is your deep breathing. Taking deep, slow breaths helps you regulate um, your thought processes, your emotions, everything. It keeps you from reacting, overreacting or reacting on impulse. So practice some deep breathing, some breath work. If you need assistance with that, feel free to send me an email, and I'll do my best to assist and guide you through deep breathing techniques. Um, Number 6, I mentioned before movement, but some form of movement. Movement is medicine. Practice something daily, especially when you're having these symptoms, because it can help your body feel normal again, or help your body relax so that the symptoms are not as strong. So when I say movement is medicine, movement like yoga practice, yoga helps align your energy. It helps you breathe more deeply. Any practice that supports your energy, such as Tai Chi, Qigong, Kung Fu, and there are others, many others. Dance, you know, especially dance that is rhythmic and makes you feel better and helps you breathe more fully. Any movements like that help you stay grounded, and it help work with your own energy. It helps you be more aware of your energy as well, so you can discern what's an actual energy sensation versus something physical. So make sure you adopt some type of practice, even if it's just exercise. All of it will help you with your cardio, and and as your cardio gets the exercise and you breathe more deeply and fully, that'll help you feel a lot better, and you'll get greater benefits from the movement. Number 7, getting more rest. If you feel extremely tired, then, like I said earlier, rest. If you have insomnia, then use that time to meditate and do some self-care for yourself. A lot of times our days seem so busy, overwhelming, hustle and bustle. We got so many things going on and trying to meet a lot of deadlines. Use this time to do things that you probably wouldn't have the time to do if you're wide awake and you have the extra energy. So use the time to do something that that you need to do for yourself, for your household, for whatever, to make make good use of your time. Number 8, sound healing. Sound healing is a tremendous benefit when it comes to not only when it comes to healing, but when it comes to this form of healing and therapy. You can look at sound healing as a form of therapy, and it helps a lot with Ascension symptoms, especially with the sensations like the headaches, the dizziness, the nausea. And sound healing can be sound baths with crystal bowls, the Tibetan metal bowls. If you know anyone that practices those or use them, make an appointment with them or learn how to play them yourselves, or just listen to them. Listening to music that is attuned to certain frequencies like the 432 hertz or some of the other healing hertz. There's so many of them. You can look them up and see which ones are best for you or best suited for you. Like if you're having headaches or trouble sleeping or sleeping too much, or if you feel you need a whole body restoration, look up the different hertz and listen to some music that can help attune you to those higher frequencies. Sound healing can also come in the form of singing, listening to other people sing, or you yourself singing. If you've ever been to a party or gathering and you see people like to get on the karaoke machine and start singing and just having a good time, even if they can't sing, it's just the effort and the singing and the song that's helping them feel better, because music does have a healing and soothing effect on us. And so we should use sound to help us heal. So not only singing or listening to the crystal bowls, there's other instruments. I've seen several online. There's different practitioners who play these musical instruments. Can't remember the name of all of them, but there's different type of drums like handpan or whatever those drums. You may want to try playing one yourself and see how it makes you feel. The sounds, the melodies, the frequencies may help you heal and feel better. Another form of sound healing is nature sounds. Going outside or just listening to the birds chirping has a soothing effect on people's nervous system, people's minds. It has a soothing effect on your spirit. Also, listening to the sound of water, whether it's the sound of rain or the ocean or river sounds, or the sound of water falling or traveling through what they call it, like the bubbling brook or whatever, that sound. All of that has a sacredness to it, and it can be very soothing and relaxing, and it can help you calm yourself down. It can also help you with sleeping more soundly. Some people I know say that they play nature sounds, particularly water sounds, while they're meditating, or while they're sleeping, which is very popular for some people. And I've heard a lot of great stories about people having trouble sleeping, and when they start listening to nature sounds, particularly water sounds, it helped them to sleep more soundly and more completely. Number 9, remember to listen to your body and spirit. If you feel a certain way, like you need more rest, more alone time, or you need to be in nature, then surrender to it. Whatever your body is telling you, listen to it. If you're having these symptoms and you're having headaches or the buzzing sensations or pulsing sensations or the ringing in the ears, and if you feel that the area that you're in or maybe making the condition or the symptoms worse, then you may need to move outside, or take more frequent breaks or walks, or see if you can, instead of working hybrid, work fully at home if you feel better at home. Whatever it takes to make yourself feel better and to restore your energy and to restore the balance, that's what you should take advantage of. Listen to what your body will tell you what you need. And number 10, spend more time in nature while you're experiencing these symptoms. Spending time outside, in natural settings helps a lot. The natural world will help you with these symptoms. The positive ions, the birds and nature sounds, the fresh air, plus earthing, walking barefoot on the ground, walking on the sand, being near water, all help you with coping. If you have not had a beach day, you may want to try that. The beach and being near the ocean has so many positive benefits for people. If the ocean is not your place, then by all means go to the mountains, go to a lake, a river, a stream. uh just put your feet in sand, put your feet in the earth, go to a botanical garden and just look at all the plants and the flora and fauna there. Take a boat ride, in the natural setting. All of these things help you tremendously when it comes to coping with these symptoms and helping yourself stay renewed and restored. So please share in your comments your symptoms and how you're coping with our listening audience, because you may have some other strategies and some other techniques that may be we may not have covered this evening, and that could be really helpful and beneficial to us. So remember, family, we have inherited a lot of old habits and toxic belief systems from the past. So remember to go easy on yourself. You are clearing thousands of years of outdated conditioning as we embrace the new you and on our new earth. So with that said, I bid you all a peaceful, blessed, good evening. Love, peace, prosperity, good health, and freedom to all. And I look forward to seeing you next time. Peace and love.